How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review, and it is what I assume is West Coast style American Pale, Imperial American Pale action in the form of Avery Brewing's Ale to the Chief. When I heard this beer was coming out, I really wanted to try it just because, I don't know, I'm a sucker for fucking well-made puns, and this one was so cheesy that it kind of worked for me. And it's Avery, and I like Avery, and I like their bomber bottle variety of beers. They tend to be, really good bang for your buck as far as quality and stuff like that. So, yeah, there you go. Let's dive into this fucker. As far as what it says on the bottle itself. It says, Ale to the Chief. I'm going to try to read this, try to get through it, but it's pretty, I might fuck up. It says, a presidential ale to celebrate Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2017. It says, there's a whole big story. Actually, I'm not going to read it. It's We the Brewers, Avery Brewing Company, in order to form a more perfect ale, require leadership, I'm going to read it anyway, that can liberate us from quagmires in the foreign lands, embrace environmentally sound energy alternatives, continue healing our healthcare system, and unite parties around the libertarian brew. Or bipartisan brew, I said libertarian. We hereby pledge to provide him or her with ample amounts of presidential pale ale while they achieve the aforementioned goals. So yeah, a bunch of signatures, I assume, are brewers. 8.1% alcohol by volume. On the side here, we have Avery Brewing Company. Let's see here. Not an imperial pale ale. This is a democracy. It's a presidential. Take an all-American pale ale, a bipartisan blend of malt and hops, increase both to Avery Brewing standards. Then, of course, dry hop the result with that most quintessential of American hops, Cascades. And you get this, Ale the Chief, a brew worthy of the Oval Office. So, Cascade. I like Cascade. I really like it. It's your atypical kind of West Coast citrusy, kind of floral kind of hop thing. I dig it just because it's the bastard son, I guess you would say, of Fuggles. And Fuggles are one of my favorite hops just because I'm an English fucking beer fucking fan. Anyway, one of my favorite old school hops, I guess you would say, because they've been around for a while. The new school shit makes me all fucking hot and bothered inside. Anyway, label-wise, it's cool. I mean, it's what you expect. It's, kind of like the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, whatever fucking style kind of fucking thing going on there. So, yeah, it's Avery. Let's see what they did with it. Big violent pop on that. Oh, my God. Yeah, West Coast all the way on this. Cascade, you're typically, like I said, you're talking like kind of floral with a big, huge citrus, but a heaping help of bittering. I got a decent amount of pine on that sucker, so depending on how they're using it, it can come out a couple different ways. First things first, 2 fingers, infinite creaminess. It's like defying gravity. You probably can't see it, but it's tilting to one side. That's how creamy it is. Really compact bubbles. It's got a really subtle haze to it. It's not the coldness of the beer itself. There's just a little bit of a haze to it. A really nice, gentle kind of snow globy carbonation going on. So, yeah, she looks the part. Let's see what she smells like. Yeah, getting a really big, like, piney grapefruit kind of mixture in there. A little bit of like a herbally kind of flowerness going on. Very generic, very nondescript. It's not huge in your face. I guess you would say the one side is like kind of like the first shit I mentioned is the first things that pop in my mind. Then you get a heaping helping of malt there. The head's kind of gigantic, so I'm trying to fight through it. But it smells sweet. It smells citrusy. But at the same time, I think I'm going to get a heaping helping of bitterness out of this too. It reminds me of beer I can't think of. So yeah, I mean, it smells like the West Coast, absolutely, but it's skewing a little bit sweeter. Smells pretty rich. Smells like there might be like kind of some sugary, kind of brown sugar caramelized vibes going on in there. So she looks cool. She smells pretty good. More than pretty good. I don't know why I said fucking pretty good. So let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. Boozy. First off, it's getting a huge bit of booziness. And I'm getting a little bit of like a weird metallic astringency in the back. It's bursting with... Let's reverse. When you first taste it, you get this fucking super sweetness. Then you get hit with those hops. Like really unripened grapefruit. Like, it's like there's grapefruit's there, but it's like an acidic kind of grapefruit without that kind of sweetness. And you get a bit of like subtle, not as big as I thought it was gonna be. Not, I wouldn't say subtle, but smaller pininess. And that floral portion of the show is pretty fucking hefty. And then it finishes with bittering, just skosh below palate smacking. I think the kind of sweetness is kind of keeping that in check. Mouth feels okay, nothing to write home about. But like I said, it's boozy at 8%. Usually these guys are the masters at booze control. Like sometimes they actually use the actual alcohol vapors and things like that to actually deliver more flavor. Like, I don't know, they're doing magician shit over there. This one's just a little bit straight up boozy. And then you have that little kind of like weird kind of bitter. I think it's like it's a bittering, but I get this metallic kind of vibe off of it that it doesn't completely turn me off. But at the same time, it's not super welcoming. Yeah, this is definitely a share beer. This is something I would want to drink with like a couple people. Like this glass that I poured is probably max amount of what I would like to drink. But I can see a lot of West Coasters being really turned on by this sucker. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better American pale ales, as they put it, even though it's 8%. I've had it as like, no. Even if you imperialize it up, no. It just doesn't appeal to me and my kind of, palate and what I like. So for me, it's not. For you, it could be. And let's just cut to the chase of that. Well, actually, reverse. I'm not going to do that. Value and availability. I think I paid $8 or $9 for this at a Wegmans. If you get Avery, you're gonna see it. So let's skip to it. If you like will you like this? Because that's the most important part of the show here. Because like I said, it's not my favorite kind of beer. If you like your West Coast beers, you know what I mean. If you like your West Coast based IPAs, you'll want them to skew a little bit sweeter, and you want it to be heavy on the old school kind of floral tip. You know what I mean? I guess you would lean towards this. But it's all about the West. It's all about the bittering. It's not necessarily for me. But the only thing that kind of balances for me is that sweetness, which is a bit sweeter than you typically expect. So that kind of balances it out for me and kind of makes it something that I kind of want to drink a little bit of. Let's move forward. I'd love to age one of these because I think this might turn into something crazy. It's very pseudo barley wine-ish. Let's put it that way. And I didn't talk about that. It's got a very like Lagunitas style barley wine kind of vibe going on, but on a lighter side, like a gnarly wine thing, but way less aggressive. And I think if you were to age this, it could turn into something very close to resembling like a British style, like aged ESB or even like an old ale kind of thing. I can see this turning into that. So this might be something you want to pick up a couple bottles of if you like your shit that I talk about ad nauseum, your JW Lees, your Old Stock, and your Hardys. I think this might turn into something kind of close to that, based off of the taste, because I'm definitely getting a lot more Fuggle than Cascade out of this. But, it is what it is. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, and all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice West Coast IPA right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.